Well, here we are, guys. The final build video for the shortest build in the series. Yes, just 3 videos. I guess there wasn't really a lot to see in the development of heavy armor anyway. We were basically just increasing the amount of damage we can absorb and getting some cool enchantments thanks to Summer Mist. With that in mind, let's take a look at said enchantments. We've got a gold necklace with whatever this thing is. I can't remember what it's called. It deals damage equal to magicka to nearby targets when equipped, and then to you when unequipped. I did not see that happen. Oh, of course, I'm thinking I didn't really see that happen, but that's because it's obviously affected by the difficulty that you're playing on. So this was on Master. So it did, I believe it's half damage to my enemies and double damage to me, or somewhere around about that. I think Legendary is 1/3 and 3 times, and Master is half and 2 times. So, that turned out to not be that powerful. I thought I would add it just so I have like an active attack ability, so I basically would just equip and unequip the necklace. And then we also have resist fire, 61%. On the gold ring, we've got resistances, frost and shock, 47% each. On the boots, we've got this one's called Windfall, 3% chance per second to restore 94 points of health, magic, and stamina. And also, being struck by fire, shock, or frost or shock spell or effect reduces damage from that element by 22% for 5 seconds. So I thought that was pretty good. That made us pretty resistant to mages. On the cuirass, we have living foes staying within 31 feet for too long are slain instantly. Now, I specifically, in the upcoming video, the final part of this video, I attack a Draugr Crypt, so that ability is actually not activated except for the last enemy, and you'll see that happen. Also heals living allies within 31 feet for 10 seconds. That really keeps that familiar alive. If I didn't have that, I would have a lot less damage output, because, you know, the familiar would just keep dying. Then we also got absorb stamina from enemies within 15 feet. Unfortunately, the absorb enchantments are not very strong, neither the stamina or the health. I was envisioning them as being much more powerful than they actually are. They're a nice side benefit, but they don't really drain stamina that fast. It's not like stamina's gone and then they can't do power attacks. That doesn't really happen. And there wasn't really anything else that interesting to put on the gloves, so I just added a bit to my heavy armor. So as you can see, my heavy armor rating is at 438, which I think is pretty close to the cap. For the pauldrons, I put absorb health, and also take up to 31% less damage from any enemy attacks the further their health falls below 50%. It'd actually be cool if that was when your health falls below. I think we already have a perk might do that. I'm not sure. Well, speaking of, let's take a look at the perks. So we basically just grabbed everything in heavy armor. We got Mastery, which increases our heavy armor by 40% and gives us experience when wearing it. We've got Cushioned, so we take no fall damage. Not that I actually made use of that in this particular video, but there you go. Heavy armor for an extra 25%. We got the Rallying Standard, which I completely forgot to use. That would have made that final battle a lot easier too. Good grief. Warbringer, raise your hands. I once again totally forgot to actually use this. Rallying Standard improves destruction spells and effects by 15%. If wearing all heavy armor, take 75% less damage from attacks below 15% or 20% health. That would have also been really nice if I'd actually used my Rallying Standard. Derp. Incoming fire, frost, and shock damage reduced by 0.02% per point if wearing all heavy armor. I don't know what does that add up to? 2%? 0.02% per point. Oh, per point of armor. So we're talking. Just whip out my handy dandy calculator. Apparently my phone is having a freak out session here too. You could load a little faster there. Times 0.02. So that's 8.76% extra resistance. Not super great. We probably got pretty close to the cap on fire between the various enchantments. Also got Never Kneel. Take 30% less damage from power attacks. Defiance, you're trained to deflect incoming attacks when wearing all heavy armor. When an enemy attacks you, you gain points of armor, and that effect stacks. Defiance also, I'm sure we went well over the... When we're getting attacked by a whole bunch of things, probably went way beyond the armor cap, thanks to that perk. This one didn't help me because I wasn't using a melee weapon. If wearing all heavy armor, you have a 20% chance to brace for impact when attacked by an enemy, becoming immune to stagger for 4 seconds. That probably helped a bit. I was still getting staggered around quite a bit, but it probably helped me a little bit. Face of Death, just don't have to wear a helmet because, you know, we want to see my beautiful Argonian horns. Battle Weary, you take up to 20% less attack damage from enemies with half or less stamina. And if wearing all heavy armor, the lower their stamina, the less damage you take. Born to Fight, heavy armor weighs half as much, slows you down half as much. And Lead the Tempest, I didn't use this. Sprinting in combat increases the armor of allied people within 20 feet. That would be a little bit difficult since I was using Mercurio and he stays back. Not sure if that works on creatures. Just say allied people, so not sure if that would have worked on my familiar, but I didn't actually test that either. Man, I didn't test a bunch of things. Break upon me. You are immune to basic melee weapon perks. Reap the Whirlwind. When struck by a power attack or bash, your attacks deal more damage. Not helpful for this particular build. When struck by an attack, subsequent attacks are deflected if wearing all heavy armor. You take 75% reduced damage from attacks for 1 second. That's nice when you're surrounded. And Face of the Mountain, when struck by a power attack or bash, the attacker's strike rebounds forcefully as if striking solid rock, staggering them and potentially knocking them to the ground. Now, that happened constantly. I don't know what the chance is, but it seems to be triggering quite a bit, which is nice. Rise Above, if wearing all heavy armor, you intimidate enemies within 15 feet. They lose 5% attack damage and you gain 5% attack damage. Now the second part didn't help, but when I was surrounded by a whole bunch, this one was really, really nice. And finally, Primal Fear, if wearing all heavy armor, walking but not running towards living enemies within 30 feet may break their confidence, causing them to flee. And that is what happens in the video that I will leave with you now. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. We'll see you in the next video.
You cannot even conceive of the power. You dare fight a dog?